African households are extremely toxic. I feel like no one loves me, like for real, for real. I literally have panic attacks anytime this guy's around me. Welcome back to my channel. You know what it does, you know what it do. What you going on, mommy, or whatever. I'm back with another video. I know I've been gone for so long and I apologize for that, because I've had people message me as to when I'm coming back on YouTube. And honestly, I feel like I have so much content prepared, but I need to get this very specific content out of the way before I make any content that I want to do, just because it sits so heavy in my heart. Oh, and guys, I've got a lisp because my cheek is swollen on the inside on this side, so I can't fully like close my mouth, like, so I've got a bit of a lisp, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I feel like I can't make any of the content I want to make until I get this specific content that I want out of the way, like, because I think about it every single day. Like, I'm at a point where a lot of things are triggering me around me. I need to really talk about it and get it out of the way. Yeah, I'm doing a segment on my channel the next, I want to say month, because I want to make like a sit down video in my living room on the floor, just talking about domestic abuse, talking about childhood trauma and how it affects us like as adults, talking about toxic African households, toxic men. I'm gonna talk about my trauma as well, just because, you know what, just because, yeah, I'm at a point through therapy and my boyfriend that I'm really in the healing process, and I really want to talk about it. I want to rant, like, I literally want to rant. And yeah, this is what this video is going to be about. A huge trigger warning. I'm going to be talking about self-harm, molestation. I don't know the terms, but I'm not sure if it's molested or sexual harassment. That has happened to me through a family member that, you know, people that are close to me know that, you know. Suicide, just so much that we're gonna unpack in the next month. The purpose of making this video is I never had anyone to talk to. Like, growing up, I was a bloody well loner. Like, I was seriously a loner growing up. If I want people to, one, understand my experience, understand that it can happen to anyone. These sort of things literally happen day to day to people. I want people to know that they have a voice, even if it's misunderstood, even if it's not understood at all. They have a voice, and if this video can help anyone to any capacity, then, you know what, I feel like I've achieved something. The reason being is, it's like, when I tell you recently, like, when I said I want to talk about these certain topics, I have been thinking about it every day. It's like God wants me to talk about these topics, like, literally, like, it's crazy. Like, I've just got this sense of wanting to help people, and if my story can help someone, then great. You know, like, I feel like I'm accomplishing something. I'm thinking, when I go back to YouTube, what do I want to do, what do I want to bring? I had to think about that a lot, because I did a bit of research, right? I looked at what people are making, other content creators from the UK, Birmingham, London, whatever, and I just thought, like, as much as I do want to make vlogs and makeup videos and, you know, lifestyle videos, there is a huge part of me that wants to make kind of like trauma videos and dealing with trauma I've been through, like, kind of unpacking me. I'm gonna be doing my makeup in this video. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing my makeup in this video. Yeah, stay tuned if you want to see all that. Whew. I'm nervous, like, I'm really nervous. I'm really jittery because I've just like I've necked my whole cup of coffee, so I'm feeling a bit, you get what I mean? Everything I'm going to use is going to be listed down below, because it's just going to be long to like show you like everything as I go. Oh my god, like, I feel like I can't breathe. And I'm going to endeavor in this video to not, oh, I brought the wrong serum, but oh well, but to not get too emotional, you know, because, you know, he wants to cry on camera. I'm going to try to get not too emotional, because anytime I talk about this with my partner and people, I get very emotional. So My hands are actually shaking, like for real, like my hands are shaking, fuck. But yeah, let's start in the beginning. Let's start in the beginning. So when I was 6 years old, I was introduced to this man who at the time was a complete stranger to me, but he turned out to be my stepdad, right? 6 years old, this is your dad now, etc, etc, whatever. Okay, cool. Like, do we have a choice? No. I'm really nervous, like really bad, like my anxiety. Yeah, my anxiety is really bad because this is such a triggering thing in my life that, and I'm ready to put it out there, so I'm just so nervous, and I don't know why I'm so nervous, but I feel nervous. But yeah, this guy coming to my life, 6 years old, Alice, right? I don't really know nothing of the world. I haven't been through anything traumatic. I can't remember my life prior to 6 years old, like, I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember what life was like. But right, so this guy coming to my life at 6 years old. Oh, I'm not gonna cry already, it's only been like 2 minutes. At 6 years old, and all I can remember from my whole childhood is pure negative. Oh my god, why am I gonna cry? It's pure negativity, like seriously, like really, like I only have really bad memories of my childhood. This man was a bully, like he was a bully. He was a bully. Oh my god, why do I want to cry? No, calm down. He was a bully in a sense of, he mentally and physically, I wouldn't say physically towards me as much because my mom didn't allow it, but he mentally abused me. Like, he fucked me up in the head, like, and he mentally and physically abused my mom. So as a child, all I was getting from this grown man is that, oh, I'm not your dad, go look for your dad. Like, I got shown no love from this man at all. And this is the man, this is why I say African households are so toxic, because this is the man I'm meant to respect. This is the man I'm meant to call my dad. Like, this is the man I'm meant to love, you get me? Like, this is meant to be my father figure, and he hates me. He hates me. I don't know why he hated why do you hate a child? I don't understand. But okay, I'm not even doing my makeup. But yeah, he hated me. Like, he didn't take me to school. Like, in primary school I had to go to school a lot by myself because I had no one to take me. Like, I don't remember why my mom couldn't take me to school, I'm not gonna lie, but I do remember many of times that, you know, my mom asked my dad to take me to school and his response was, I'm not taking her to school, I'm not her dad. And it's like, okay, like, from primary school, I'm talking year 4, I was walking to school. Granted, my school was very close to, like, my house. My lips are dry. My school was very close to my house in Leeds. And obviously, people that know me personally will know exactly who I'm talking about when I say stepdad, right? So my house was very close to the school. So I used to walk home. I used to walk to school, like, so, like, almost every day, to be honest. Because I don't remember why my mom couldn't take me to school, but my dad didn't want to take me to school. Simple as. In life at the moment, I've become a really big advocate against domestic violence because of everything I've seen. Like, this man would beat my mom up, like beat her up. I'm talking beat her up, like I'm talking, yo, I would just remember watching my mom get like beaten up, like punches getting thrown at her in the living room downstairs, and our stairs, like you could see like the whole of downstairs, if that makes sense, if you're on the stairs, them sort of houses. I would sit on the stairs and watch all this happen and just cry. That's all I could do, because what can I do? And I remember my little sister at the time was a baby. She was literally a baby, and I would hold her in my arms and I would just cry on the stairs watching my mom get beaten up. And you know, that was my childhood. That was literally all I can remember of my childhood. My hands are shaking. It just looks bad at the end. It looks bad at the end. That's as neat as my eyebrows. No, don't look at my eyebrows too tough. Look at it. There was a point in time, I would say around year 4, 5. Yeah, I want to say around year 4, 5. I don't know what age you are in year 4, 5. Like, honestly, from the top of my head. But there was a point in time in year 4 and 5 that my stepdad at the time was he was sexualizing my body. I was always flat-chested, still having flat-chested, you know, had a baby, still having flat-chested, you know. But I started having a butt, an ass, very quickly in life. I don't know why, but I started getting, you know, thick in the badonk very quick. And this man used to, why am I shaking? Used to like slap my ass, slap my butt and like squeeze it and then say, oh my god, your bum's growing, and this was like, oh my god, that hurts. This was like a regular thing for like a good month. Obviously I did not I'm a child. I didn't understand like the, like, I didn't, you know, I'm not really thinking much of it. I'm thinking, yes, this makes me feel extremely uncomfortable, but I'm not really thinking much of it. I don't know like how to take it, you get what I mean? And then he would squeeze my boob and be like, oh, your boobs are still small, your boobs are still small. And you know what, it really, looking back now that I understand why I am the way I am, you know, you touched a child, like you sexualized a child, like that's crazy to me. Like, you molested a child, like, anyway, right, I'm going to be jumping in and out of, you know, the timeline, and hopefully it will all make sense. Like, it will all make sense at the end. But right, secondary school, so I was moving around a lot with secondary school, because I don't know what happened in Leeds, but we moved from Leeds to Birmingham, and then in Birmingham we moved houses like 4 times. Like, I was moving everywhere. I didn't have time to form attachments with people. Yeah, I basically have no friends. Long story short, I have a lot of associates, don't get it twisted, but I feel like now I have no friends because of, you know, I would be attached to people for a very short period of time and then I'd move and I would lose contact with them people. And, you know, now I'm not attached to nobody, and, you know, that's the reality of it. But anyway, secondary school, I feel like we moved from Leeds to have a better start, to start again, I think is what they said. But when I tell you the abuse that went on in my household was like, I literally, as a teenager, you know, the very important stage of your life, I watched my mom get beat down day in and day out. Like, I would go to school crying because 8 o'clock in the morning these two are arguing, like every other day of the week. I'd go to school crying. Like, I didn't understand, like I just didn't understand. And then at that point in my teenage life, my mom stopped paying attention to me. Like, to be honest, like, she really stopped paying attention to me, or she really just focused on her relationship. And it was crazy because he hated me. Like, he genuinely hated me. I think in my whole, how many years of life, 6, I'm 20 now, he literally, I locked him off when I was 21. So I think in that space of time, I received one gift from this guy, which was a skirt that was still on the hanger and it didn't even fit me. So, okay, I grew a very toxic attachment to males. Obviously, I didn't understand at the time. I didn't understand myself at the time. I didn't understand life at the time. So, you know, I'm going based off, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I grew a very toxic attachment to men. Looking back, this is what I understand. I would, any piece of attention, like I got attention growing up in school, secondary school. It's like I was in internal turmoil. I didn't understand what was going on around me. I just understood that I actually just don't understand why someone can hate someone else so much, and you know, make it apparent that they hate this child like this. I don't understand. Till this day I still don't understand. Like, I really don't get it. And it's like, I'm going through all this, I'm watching my mom get beaten up every single day. Like, this guy beat up my mom so bad when I was younger, this was primary school, that he actually knocked out her tooth. Like, it's crazy to me because my mom actually thinks I don't know this. That's the thing, she's gonna find out that I know from this video, but she actually thinks I don't know this. But I literally remember the week like it was yesterday, and honestly, like, he beat her up so bad that her front tooth started becoming wobbly. And I remember, I don't know how I remember this because I was literally a child, but it was wobbly, and she kept telling me, oh, it's wobbly. I was normal, I was less than 8 years old at the time, so I don't know how I remember this. But, and I feel like within that month her tooth literally come out, and that was because of this man. I remember one time I come home, like the night before I was at school, no, I was in my room, and I could literally hear my mom getting punched. Like, you know, if you've ever been around someone that's fighting, you can hear like the punches. I could hear like they were arguing, and then all I could hear is like punch, 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 punch. And I started crying. Like, I started crying so bad. And then I went straight to school that day. I went straight to school. I think I was in like year 5 or 6 at them times. I went straight to school. I didn't even say hello or bye to anyone. I went straight to school. When I came home from school, yeah, I think I would never forget this. Like, I will never forget it. I came home from school and my mom was on the sofa, like in her blanket. And I didn't think much of it, you know. Like, I don't know why I didn't think much of it, but I didn't think much of it. And when I say, like, when she pulled the blanket down from her face, yeah, her face was swollen. Like, you see when fighters fight on like TV, her face was swollen, like black and blue. Like, oh, that image is so clear in my like her, oh, I can't even explain it, but her face was black and blue, like so, like, and oh, I'm gonna stop crying. Right, there was a point in primary school, right, that I tried to kill myself, long story short. And looking back, I do think, oh my god, like, what was you doing? But as a child, I understand that you are being hated by another human being, a human being that you are conditioned to love, you are conditioned to respect. And I literally in my heart believed at the time that I don't deserve to be here, like, honestly. And it's so sad for a child to think that, but I literally thought, I don't deserve to be here. Like, I'm doing something wrong that I'm not getting no love from nobody. Like, no, like, my mom was so concentrated in her relationship that she completely forgot about me. Like, seriously, like, this guy pushed me down the stairs, my leg was bleeding. I probably still have the scar on my leg. My leg was bleeding. Like, he strangled me, and I was like, this was still primary school. He strangled me. Me and my mom left the house with my little sister. It was my little sister that was born. My little sister was still a baby, so she had my little sister on her hip, and we're walking from, if you're from Leeds, you will understand, I'm walking from Gipton all the way down to Hare Hills, where all the shops are. And there used to be a taxi base that literally knew my mum off. They love my mum. So we walked, my legs bleeding, we walked all the way from the house to this taxi base to get a taxi. to go to like one of his family members' house and whatnot. And that was that. Ended up coming back home after a few days, and you know, that was primary school. Secondary school, I briefly got into that. So now let's get into when I started my school Bavistock. Right, I started Bavistock, I moved to Maple, and it was the same toxic cycle, like watching my mom get beat up every day, you know, a dad that doesn't love me, makes it very clear that he doesn't love me. I'm not doing my makeup, let me do my eyebrows. Like, he makes it very clear that you are not my child, like, you know. And that was it. When I turned into a teenager, that's when things started to shift, because I had friends, I had become friends with some very lovely people at the time. And you know what, I would do anything not to be home. Quite frankly, I would do anything not to be home. Like, you would not catch me at home if I did not have to be at home. Like, curfew, what was that? Like, honestly, that was the point I started rebelling, because I just didn't want to be home. I did not want to be home. And the saddest thing to me, let me do my eyebrows and then I'll be back. The saddest thing for me at that point was the fact that I started this school, right, and I was a flipping loner growing up, you know. I was such a loner. Like, I was a loner, fam. I was that emo kid in the classroom. Like, I didn't talk to no one unless I was spoken to. Like, and you know what, I feel like that is, looking back, it was the conditioning, because in my African household, I wasn't allowed to speak unless spoken to. You get me? This adult man never spoke to me. Like, my mom didn't even speak to me like that, to be honest. So I literally grew up not speaking to no one, basically. Like, long story short, I grew up not speaking to no one, and that literally transcended into my teenage years, where I did not speak. If you ask my boyfriend, like, what was Alice like back in secondary school, because we went to the same secondary school, he would literally say, like, she was scary. Like, she was scary. Like, I didn't used to speak. I would walk the corridors, like, you know, like I was invisible, because that's how I felt when I was at home. I felt invisible. I felt like anything I had to say didn't matter, anything I felt didn't matter, and that was fact. Like, no one cared about me. Like, no one cared about me growing up. Yeah. And it's sad to say, and I say it so openly, because I understand myself, I understand what I've been through, and I'm at a point now where I can actually just talk about it, you know. And it is what it is. I can't change the past. I can literally just get on with my life, you know. And if by talking about it, what I went through and how I've overcome and dealt with situations can help someone, then I'm doing something right. But yeah, nobody cared about me growing up, like, serious. So when I said before that I had a very toxic attachment to people who showed me attention, I mean, I had a very toxic attachment to people who showed me attention. Like, I would latch onto it and I wouldn't even notice that this is so toxic. But anyway, we'll get on to adult life and whatnot. Secondary school. See, I'm jumping around a lot, so I'm so sorry, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Secondary school, teenagers go through it, and I'm saying this because my sister is a teenager. She has teenage friends, and you know, when she tells me like what them lot are going through and her friends and whatnot, I think, yeah, it's hard to maneuver your teenage years, especially if you don't have that guidance, you don't have help. Like, you've only got yourself. Like, luckily my sister's got me, and I've learned a lot along the way, and I am able to guide her. But you know, I didn't have no one. Literally, I didn't have no one. So I was doing madnesses. I was super depressed secondary school, like towards year 10 to the end to college. Literally, I was super depressed. I forgot to prime my face. Oh my god. Oh wow. I was so depressed. Like, I didn't want to be alive. Like I had had enough. I had had enough. Like I had no friends. My family just didn't care about me. I didn't have other family members that I could go to and talk to. My dad, that I meant to love and respect, hates me. Like I felt like I had nothing to live for. Like genuinely, I felt like I just felt like I don't really deserve to be here. Like no one loves me. I felt like no one loves me, like for real. Like, and then around that time my dad touched me again when I started that school. I remember I was in my, you know them ones when you hear your parent come in and you're up like watching TV, because I had a TV in my room and you're not meant to, so you quickly like pretend to be asleep. And that's what I did. But obviously I was wearing a skirt. I was wearing a skirt and it was a skater skirt. You know them times skater skirts were the thing. It was a skater skirt and it was so high up that my whole bum cheek was like, my whole bottom half was out. Like basically the whole thing was out there. And I was pretending to be like, and I didn't even have enough time, because I clocked when he was in when the person was in the corridor. I didn't know who it was, but I clocked when he was in the corridor, so I literally had 1 second to turn around and pretend to be asleep. I didn't even have time to pull the blanket over me, none of that. I didn't have time. So I just turned over, pretended to be asleep, and this person come into my room, turned off the TV, lifted up my skirt, because it was still a little bit on me, but lifted up my skirt, and I felt my skirt being held up for like 5 seconds. Like I didn't understand. I still don't understand. Like I felt my skirt being just held up for 5 seconds and I didn't move. I didn't do anything. Like, you know, I just stayed there like literally. And you know, then he let my skirt go and he left the room. And I just, like, looking back, I think, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? And I'll explain why this is so, like, annoying to me now. Like, yeah, so that happened. And you know what, I was at an age where I know this is wrong now. Like I get it, this is wrong. Like why is this happening to me? Like I felt like I didn't have a voice, so I couldn't speak. You get what I mean? Anytime I tried to help my mom when she was getting beaten up, they would just say don't get involved. Or there were times when I would say like when everything's calmed down and I'd be like, Dad, why are you hitting Mom? And he'd be like, don't get involved, don't get involved. That's all I heard growing up, don't get involved. Like no one cared about what I had to say, what I was feeling. Like, do you know what it feels like as a child watching your parents get beaten up and you know this is wrong and you can't say nothing? Like, yo, it was horrible. It was so horrible. And you know what the saddest thing is for me is the fact that this guy hated me. Like, hated me. Ain't no way to change that. But the love he had for my little siblings was like, when I say I was jealous, I was jealous of my little siblings, because he didn't treat them like they treated me. He treated me like, I don't understand what did I do to, you know, get hated on? I don't get it. But anyway, I got really depressed in secondary school, right? I didn't have the best people around me. I just had bad influences around me, if I'm gonna be so honest. Again, I started feeling very death-y again. I started self-harming. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm gonna be so real. Like, it is what it is. I started doing that because I hated myself. Like, I had this conversation with my therapist, yeah, and you know, it's where things stem from. And you know, as an adult, in order for you to heal, and you have to understand where these feelings, where these emotions came from. I feel like the first stage of healing is understanding. Yes, the first stage of healing is understanding. So I had to really sit down with myself and say, why did I feel this way? And the conclusion is the same. I felt like I just hated myself. I literally hated myself. Like, I felt like I couldn't protect my mom. I felt like no one loved me. I felt like this, I had nothing to live for. Like, I literally felt like I had nothing to live for. Like, I had no friends. Like, I had no one, not one human being I could turn to and vent anything to. Like, I literally had myself and my thoughts, and that is a very, very dangerous place to be in as a teenager, that you don't know no better. So yeah, when my parents found out, they didn't even acknowledge that maybe this could be from anything happening at home. They said, oh, she's being influenced to do this. Okay, all right, cool, say what you want. I literally didn't even care. Like, I got to 15 and I was more outside than in my home, being at home as a 15-year-old. I was clubbing, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was partying. Like, I didn't go to my I did actually go to my GCSE exams, but best believe, like, before my exam I was getting high with my friend in the park. Like, I didn't even care. When I tell you I did not care about life, yeah, I didn't take life seriously. Like, honestly, I didn't. At that point I started hanging around with really bad people, like literally really bad people that were going through turmoil themselves. And you know what, it's not always the best thing to hang around with people that are also going through, who also have emotional baggage going on, and etc, etc, etc. Like, it's not good. It's really not good. I feel like because we was all just damaged goods, right? And I'm sorry if I word things like in not so positive ways. I'm literally just talking and being me. Like, this is how I deal with things. Like, I just talk about it how I feel, like talking about it how it comes out. We was all damaged, so we was living the worst lifestyle. We are like 16, 17, we're partying with grown men, like grown men. And the sad thing is, yeah, about this is the fact that not one of us saw this as a red flag. Like, that me as a 17-year-old, I'm getting approached by 24, 25-year-olds. Like, is no one seeing this as a red light? Like, it's quite, you know what, negativity attracts negativity, and I genuinely believe that in life. I would keep talking about that, but I just want to move on from that. So adult life, adult life was a roller coaster. I feel like I said, I had a very bad attachment to males. So if a man was approaching me with all the wrong intentions, I wouldn't notice. I would literally just notice the fact that they're approaching me, and that's it. Cool. I've literally put up with some bullshit, like bullshit from men, because the red flags are there, and like my mom, I was ignoring it. Ignoring it. And you know what, it took, yeah, me being with this guy, I paid his rent. Like, I was literally being an idiot. Like, of being an idiot. I was falling back, looking back, I was falling back into this cycle of, you know, being like my mom, being like these African women that submit unconditionally to men, regardless of everything else going on in life. It wasn't until this guy, we got into an argument and he tried to hit me, that I said, I'm out. I was out from that day. Like, one thing I will not tolerate in my adult life is the guy like threatening to hit me or hitting me. I refuse. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus Almighty. I refuse. If it's one thing I can't stand, is abusive men, and that goes from anyone around me that I clock, or even the way men speak to women. I cannot tolerate. Like, it's such a trigger point for me that, you know, I hate it. So this man, my stepdad, did all this to me, right? I knocked him off. I cut him off, period. Like, if it's one thing I stand by, is if someone is stressing you out, if someone is toxic, if someone, you know, all that, cut him off. cut them off, period. Like, I don't care who it is. My own mom, I best believe, yeah, if she was still trying to, I told her, like, if you continue to stay with this guy, obviously things did get taken way too far, social workers got involved and also, so, but I did tell her, if you continue to be with this man, I'm going to lock you off. I'm not going to speak to you ever again. You're not going to see your granddaughter. Like, that's as far as I'm willing to take it. Like, I am not an idiot, and this guy is a fucking clown, and I don't care. I hope he sees this video, because I don't actually care. I don't care. And the saddest thing is, yeah, in therapy they say talk to the person that has caused these things, like caused you trauma, essentially. And I have never been able to speak to this guy. Like, I can't speak to him. Like, I can't. Like, he's so ignorant, he's so stuck in his ways that he thinks everything is okay. Me as a grown adult coming to you telling you you're tapped in the head, bro, you don't make sense. Like, no, you're a child, you don't understand. Fuck you and fuck your life. Like, honestly, I'm so heated, because you know, they say you shouldn't hate anyone in life. I don't care. I hate this man. I will never ever in my life be able to tolerate this man being around me. I can't do it. Like, the trauma, the mental trauma this guy has caused me, yeah, like, anytime he's even around me, I freeze. I can't speak, I can't breathe. Like, I literally have panic attacks anytime this guy's around me. So I endeavor to not be around this man. Seriously, like, I don't have to talk to you ever again in my life, and I will feel happily and content about that. Like, do you, like, okay, this brings me down to my next topic, right? Why I believe African households are toxic as fuck. So, right, I've explained to you a lot briefly, somewhat briefly, like, how this guy you know, fucked with me mentally and whatnot, like, I feel like the turning point for me was when I was, I believe, 17 18, and I tried to kill myself. And I ran onto a highway and got hit by a car. Long story short, and I survived. I don't know how, but I survived. And that was the turning point for me, because I said, God is real. Like, I said, God is real. Like, it's not my time to go. There's a lot of things that I have to realize and overcome. It's just how I felt around that time. It was a crazy time in my life, but I will talk about that in another video. It was just like, my teenage years was a crazy time of my life. Now I have completely locked off this person, and I've told my mom, like, I do not want this person around me, around my daughter. If you try to put this man around my daughter, I'm never going to speak to you again. That's it. That is all it comes down to. That's all I have to say. If you do not abide by my rules as an adult and my child's safety, then I will not speak to you. And the reason I said this to her is because, you know what is so sad about this whole situation? What is so sad, and why I say toxic parents are, no, African parents are so toxic. I told her he touched me as a child. I told her he even touched me as a teenager. I told her, I broke down to this woman, you know, and I cried, and I told her how I felt. I told her, I broke down to her, literally. I tried to make her understand, like, I am so hurt. Like, I'm hurt mentally, I'm hurt physically, I'm so hurt by everything this man has put me and you through, that, you know, I can't be around him for my own sanity. Like, I cannot. I will hurt him. I told her that, you know what this woman went and did? Put him back in the house. This was when I was still living at home, and this was like a few years back. But there was a period of time where they actually broke up, and he left, and he was gone for 6 months. When I tell you that it's the first time in my life that I enjoyed being at home, like I loved it, and my mom noticed that her kids were happier, like she clocked. So the fact that she went back to this guy, yeah, after everything, and please bear in mind that there was a lot of reasons why this guy was not in the house. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. This guy is evil, like evil. Like, I broke down to her, like, how can you as a mother get told by your daughter, okay, I'm more comfortable, get told by your daughter that your partner has touched her up, and you still put this guy around your children? Are you mad? Like, are you mad? Like, are you mad? And it's like, I've spoken about all this with my boyfriend, and he's, as sad as it seems, yeah, he said that, you know what, your mom just doesn't care. And it's like, as much as I don't want to believe it, it's facts. It's actually facts. Because if she cared, she would address it with this man. Like, she really would. She would sit him down, something, like, I don't care what it is, like, something, like, I don't care. Like, honestly, this man is disgusting. I will even go as far as to say her friends are disgusting as well. Like, all these aunties and tias and all this bullshit. Everybody, this is what I mean about domestic violence. Everybody knows it's going on, and not one person is helping, not one human being. This is so, it's the saddest thing. It's actually the saddest thing, you know. Like, I've made it very clear in life now that if anybody around me, I was to find out they're getting domesticated, I'm fighting you, man, blood. I'm fighting you, man. Like, 100%, it's down to the woman, you know. It's down to the women to, you know, leave the guy. Like, but if I can help in any way, like, my mom needed someone to help her. My mom needed someone to give her advice. My mom needed help, and there was no one around to do that. Like, not one person helped her. You get me? If anything, they kind of just abandoned her, which is really sad. So, okay, I'm forgetting my point. I'm going really off topic here. But yeah, after all that, this guy, my mom has the audacity to say to me, like, one of the weeks that I was at her house recently, that if this guy's in my house, because she's still involved with him, not like that, but like, obviously she's got children with him, and he helps her sometimes and whatnot. And she says, like, and obviously he must have come one of the mornings to take my little brother to school, his son. Oh, I thought my camera's gonna die. To take his son to school and whatnot, and then collect him. And my mom said, oh, you might as well stay here and get him after school, because the school's right next to the house and whatnot, and he lives really far. I was already like, okay, cool. So I goes in the kitchen, make some food, ate my breakfast, because we was going out. And she must have come to me and said, if this man is in the house and you're in my house, you have to say hello. I said, no. And she goes, well, then you don't respect me. I said, fuck respect, if I'm quite honest. Like, fuck it up the ass. I don't care about this whole narrative of, oh, you must respect someone because they're older than you. Fuck. He's lucky I don't dash my makeup brush at his forehead, because that's exactly what he needs. Like, honestly, like, F it. Like, I'm not respecting this man for nothing. He doesn't respect me. Like, what? He doesn't care about me. He's never cared about me, and I must respect him. Are you lost? Are you actually mad? Anytime I've tried to confront this guy about his own actions, I'll get met with, oh, you don't understand anything, I don't understand that you just slapped my mum in the face, like, for no reason other than you know, she's arguing with you. Are you alright? I remember when I was 20 years old, and I don't know, they were arguing over something. I'm 22, bearing in mind, this is why it's so hard for me to, this is why I'm still being affected by this shit to this day, because it's been happening literally until recently. Oh, let me get this done, because my camera's talking about it's gonna die. So it's literally been happening up until recently. This guy's there talking about, oh, I don't remember why they were arguing, but they were arguing about something, and I'm at the top of the stairs, he just slaps her in her face, and I'm thinking, I'm too grown. I'm actually too grown. I've been through too much shit to still be hearing this, to still be going through this. And I'm so sorry that I'm speaking like this. Like I said, my cheek is swollen. But to still be going through this, I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. And then I tried to confront him, and me and him almost started, like, got into a fight. So she got in the middle and was like, don't get involved, don't get involved. And I'm thinking, what do you mean don't get involved? Like, at what point do you not want your children that are witnessing this and putting contour on my cheeks? Wow, wow, okay. At what point do you not, to what extent do you not want your children to get involved when you're dead? For real, when you're dead. Because honestly, I had times when I was thinking, like, I don't know when I'm next gonna see my mom. She would even say it to me, like, this guy is dangerous, like, you gotta be careful, he's gonna do this to you, he's gonna do that, like, he's threatening to kill me. And it's like, this is what I have to hear at my big rotted age after everything I've been through. Nah, I don't deserve it. Nobody deserves it. Like, nobody. I thought I was gonna cry, but now I'm ranting because I'm so mad. Like, I'm so mad. Like, I actually, you shouldn't hate anyone in this life, but I hate this man. I hate him so much. Like, I hate him. Like, I hate him. I hope he sees this. I hate you. I actually hate you so bad. Like, I hate you. And you know what, I am still in the healing process, so I'm still dealing with this shit. I'm still dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it very well, like, because I just hate him. I don't want him near me. Ew. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know at this point. I actually don't know at this point. I'm ranting because I hate this man. Like, I hate him so much. Like, I hate him, and you shouldn't hate no one in this life, but this guy is evil. Like, he's so evil. Like, I've never met someone in my life that was so evil. You touched me, you know, you sexualized me at 8 years old, and I have to respect you. What? Because you're my elder. My camera died, so I finished doing my makeup. I feel like women are not protected enough. I feel like children are not protected enough. I feel like African households, I feel like, this is like I said to my boyfriend last night, we have to get to a point where, you know, when there's the toxic pattern change, and I said to my partner, I clocked it, so I will now change it for future generations. I'm not putting my children through that. I'm not going to be the ignorant parent. I'm not going to be the parent that's just going to allow everything, and, you know, like, it doesn't affect the people around them. So that is that. I'm making this video because I feel like there's so many people like me that have gone through turmoil in their family home, and they don't have a voice, and they feel like they can't wear their worries. I can't, because speaking to my mum is like speaking to a brick wall, quite frankly. I am still having therapy. I need to unpack a lot of emotions that I'm feeling. I feel like talking about it really does help. I'm very open now to talk about it because I understand things a lot more, like I said. And yeah, I want people to know that they're not alone. You know, you're just not alone, honestly. And if anyone wants to talk about anything they're going through, you know, anonymously or not anonymously and whatnot, I'm gonna put my social media details down below in the description bar, and if you ever want to drop me a message or speak on anything, if you can even relate to anything I'm saying, then, you know, leave a comment, message me, whatever the case may be. But like I said, nobody is alone, and you know what, I'm at this point, thank God for my partner, the partner I have now. He's helped me so much mentally. He's helped me overcome things. He's helped me deal with things, and you know, I finally got to a point in life where I feel like I'm not alone. But I wish I had someone before to talk to, someone who would understand, someone who I don't know, I really don't know honestly, but I wish I had someone to turn to before and ask for help, you know. And yeah, really, I did kind of go off topic because I was just getting so passionate about what I was saying, but I don't know what else honestly. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in my next video. Like I said, I am going to make a whole segment about, you know, toxic things and domestic abuse and whatnot. And yeah, you just stay tuned for further future videos, and I'll see you in my next one, guys.